Oh yeah, yeah. What I think I'm getting more comfortable with these recordings. It's becoming like what I was intending to have certain thoughts that I may never revisit again, or maybe I'll go into and expand. But wow, I had something happen to me the last 2 weeks that really confirms what I've been talking about, believe it, but I never really experienced. You know how you hear, like say for instance, somebody says, you can get everything you want from asking your soul the same thing you would on the internet. And I know that in my head, but I'm not really vibing with it. And so, but I had something happen to me that could only be explained by going inside. That's the only way you could explain it. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Because, I've said on some of these, I've been talking about the divine inner sanctum on the last several episodes because it was a big deal. And at the time, I really thought that even though I imagined it, I thought, well, my soul knows I'm going to imagine it, so he's involved. My soul is me, whatever. And so I got the words divine inner sanctum. Hey, that's a good name. Let's name it the divine inner sanctum. So this is the safe house that I set up with my soul. This is the story that I told. And then I felt like saying that everybody has done the same thing. Everybody set up a safe. And then the Jewish people, so I get in that later, Yom Kippur and all that. But anyway, I got those words and everything. And so uh, I went to find.com, which is an AI search engine, and I asked, what exactly is the divine inner sanctum of the soul? Because I really thought that I made it up. And turns out that's exactly what this Holy of Holies is. And everybody does have that. And the Jewish people celebrate Yom Kippur for that day. It's like July 10th or something of every year, one day. But you can go in if you want to connect to your higher self and you want to just be closer to your soul, you can decide to go every day and say, I've arrived in my divine inner sanctum, my soul. Breathe out. I'm at home in my divine inner sanctum. So you're in there. So you don't have to think about negative things happening to you or devils or whatever. You're in your soul, man. They're going to run as soon as they see your soul. So you're operating from within inside your soul, and you're thinking, this is my soul's trip anyway. I'm just a vessel. I want my soul to just come through and just, do whatever. Because anybody that's got a soul, they, they're God. They're God. Their soul is a perfect reflection of God. Now we can't see it. They may have covered it up with a bunch of shit, but they're the God of their universe, and there's no time. So I want to try to get as many people that are on the fence. They were kind of changing. I don't like the evil I did in my life, and they want to get out. I want to provide them a path. That is my name called the Way Shower, and I think that is my purpose. Is to try to get as many people to Sheen as possible. And there's people. I mean, we'll all be there eventually, but I mean, 3D is going out of business, man. No use saving the trees over there, man, because that shit is going out. No, I mean, even if we go, which we will, there's going to be people coming in behind us, and then eventually they'll all be there. You know, they'll all have a route, and they're going to remove all the duality shit out of there so that people can come back and figure it out really quick. Because if you don't have anybody tempting you on the other side, you can just figure this shit out. You grow really rapidly, rapidly. So I got to thinking today that, man, the Palladians were like their babies. They've been with us for 1 million years or something, and they saved us from going extinct many times. But they try not to, they say, well, they went into this duality system, you know, don't interfere with their free will. But if they do cry out for help, help them. But we don't know. We don't know who to ask. Now I do. But they must really love us. We're like their baby. We look like them. They made us to look like them. We don't look like some fucking reptile or. So the thing I realized was joy came from inside of me, and that was a big deal because I wasn't manipulating the energy, I wasn't doing anything outside, but I felt joy coming from inside. And that was saying that makes sense because everything else comes from inside. Everybody is just germ theory, or they're not. And germ theory means a 5G tower, a chemtrail, wear a mask, a virus will kill you. There's all this shit trying to kill you from the outside. And the real truth, that is, Pasteur was the one that came up with germ theory. And Pasteur even said on his deathbed that I was a fraud. That was a fraud statement. That wasn't true at all. That's true because, when I'm in vibrational medicine and I heal somebody, uh, there's always an emotion that's attached to that disease. And, but anyway, I balance that out anyway. But, so I don't know. I think the Pleiadians realize, I mean, that it's like even when you're fighting something and you're keeping that down, you keep it away. Ah, yeah, I won that battle. But you're still not full of joy and it's not moving smooth. To move, to get to the point of you're moving smooth. eh, that's that's something if you could do that. So I think Palladians, they have compassion for us. They realize, fuck, we've been down there. We know it's fucking hard to do this shit. And so they have compassion for us. They have a lot of love for us. And they know we have a mortal brain default system. I don't know if our brain is going to make it past Sheen because everything else is going to be transmuted. And our brain is either going to be transmuted or replaced because it tries so hard to survive on this mortal body that it limits us. It puts restrictions on us and training wheels all over the place. So I call it the brain default system, and everybody else refers to it as the ego. I refuse to do that because I feel like it's a trap that they've trapped us into shitting on our ego, and the ego means I am. I mean, But it's a brain default system is what they're really talking about. It's a brain trying to protect itself. It's a brain trying to take over your mind, take over your, and you got to be strong in your heart, because your guidance comes from your heart. And if you're not strong enough in your heart, your brain will take over. And you don't want your brain is always in the future or the past. It's never in the present moment, ever. Your heart is in the present moment. It owns the present moment. Your heart does. But the brain is fucking all. It's not supposed to run things. It's supposed to help the immune system or be an overall manager. It's not supposed to be jump in there and fucking do shit. The heart runs you. The heart. So, we were tricked. We were tricked into using the ego. But if you think about it, your heart is where you live. Your heart is where your soul lives. Your heart is where God, Source, put a little piece of himself in there. Gaia, our mother, put a little piece of her GPSs in there. Jesus, I've given him carte blanche to come in and out whenever he wants. He comes in there. My soul is my higher self. So, wow, that's where my soul, it's not just the pineal. My soul is everywhere. So I'm not going to limit my soul just to my pineal because there's a lot of other gifts. I think I've got an active pineal gland, but I think there's a lot more to it than just the third eye. It's that heart-brain coherence, and the heart has a lot to do with it. But anyway, I want to document that for the day. Have a good week.